mean, it's a lot of my friends gone for the simple fact that you know who they're affiliated with, or because of being with somebody, and somebody committed a crime and they was there. And I don't know if Lugatti was exiting the store, he had did the robbery, or it was doing the robbery. He ended up in the iron on Lugatti, man, and shot Lugatti several times, dead on arrival. I mean, it's a lot of my friends gone for the simple fact that you know who they're affiliated with, or because of being with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And somebody committed a crime and they was there, and they didn't take a part of it, but they didn't take a part of it, but in some cases, you being there, you'll get found guilty for that, especially if you don't speak up and tell your side of the story, indicating that you didn't have anything to do with it, man. I got several friends like that, man, and that shit's sad. I got one friend that his his release date is like 20, 45, 47. You know what I'm saying? And oh, and he didn't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Is sometimes you affiliate yourself, or you in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you with somebody and you didn't think that it was gonna go as the way that it went. You know what I'm saying? I have a little partner, man. Uh, Me and Dontera, me and my cousin, came up with this song called "Do the Bojangles." It was a little dance, and he came up with the dance for us. You know what I'm saying? His name was Lugatti. You know what I'm saying? And him, he decided to go and rob a store one day. I think it was up in Atlanta. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but I know it wasn't in College Park. It was somewhere in Atlanta, and he get one of my friends, which is a girlfriend of mine, her son. And I mean, I actually know his father too. Real good. My big homie, but he needed a driver or whatever, and he had little homie to go with him. One of his homies. Like I say, I knew his mother and his father, the driver. But from what I heard, the driver was unaware what actually he was going to take his friend to do. You know what I'm saying? He knew his friend was strapped there. All of us stayed strapped, but he was unaware of what he was going to do. So they pull up at the store. You know what I'm saying? And the routine. One stay in the car, while the other one go in and handle the bid. Lugatti. That's my nigga. That's my little homie name, man. Lugatti, man. Rest in peace, Lugatti, man. Came up with that Bojangle dance. But Lugatti decides to rob a store, convenience store or whatnot. And he went to this store, man, and things didn't turn out the way that he thought it was gonna turn out. And we never know how things gonna turn out. That's why we have to watch these choices, man. But the driver stayed in the car. He said he was unaware of what he was going in the store to do. He actually thought that he was just stopping by the store real quick before he took him to his destination. So Luke got to go in the store, man, and stick the store up, you know, and with a change of events, the store clerk, who already had been robbed several times, was waiting for the next opportunity, you know, to be a hero, I guess. And with the change of events, you know, he ended up drawing down on Lugatti. And I don't know if Lugatti was exiting the store, he had undid the robbery, or it was doing the robbery that, you know, Lugatti maybe slipped or something, allowing him to have time to grab his gun. And, and that's real quick when you're talking about a store and a store clerk and behind the counter, especially if it's gun right there. That's real quick. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up in the iron on Lugatti, man, and shot Lugatti several times, dead on arrival in that store, man. And I remember his mama's face. I remember her walking through the projects when she first heard about it, man. It broke my heart just to see her, see her coming towards me, man. And we talked, and she was like, they took my baby down trees, and that's how I found out. His mama actually told me, and then, when things roll itself out, the driver is arrested. You know what I'm saying? They catch my friend of mine, girlfriend of mine's son, and they end up charging him with armed robbery and Lugatti's murder, man. And he sat in that county jail, man, find that, man, as much as he can. And he had, of course, he had both sides of his family, his mom and his dad, which are, good families. He had both of their support, man, and with the blessing from Jehovah, man, those charges did get dropped off him, man, but he had to ride, in that county jail for a minute, man, and he really had to show the courts and show the DA them that he himself was unaware of what, Lugatti was going to do, man. And, if he went, it don't matter, at the end of the day, because, Lugatti ended up dying. Now, at one point, it was speculation. It was speculations that, homie that was driving didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And, some people felt that he should, he should have been held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, the DA did at first. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, even myself, man, if I am aware that my partner finna go in here and rob this place, and I'm the driver, and he go in there and he get himself killed, I do feel some responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel his death responsibility. Get me for driving a getaway car for robbery. That's what you charge me with. Don't charge me with his death when it was his plan. He came to my house with his plan, and he just needed a driver or a getaway car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it was his plan. But y'all charged me with murder because of his plan went wrong. Don't do me like that. That's one thing that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? If somebody lost their life, over some money, because that's all you're going into that store to rob and get is the money. And for anybody, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, for anybody to lose their life over some paper that got color on it, that made from the trees, I don't think it's right. You know what I'm saying? Little homie, like I say, money, paper made from trees. So, what you died for. I don't think that's right, man. And I am glad that the little homie that was charged ended up coming home and, going a whole nother direction with his life. He don't hang out. He don't be in the projects no more. He don't, none of that stuff, man. And sometimes it takes a tragic of somebody else's tragic, not just yours all the time. Sometimes it takes tragic things to happen to somebody else and for you to witness it. You know what I'm saying? To change your life. You know what I'm saying? My brother's life had a big impact on my change. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened I was already in the change. You know what I'm saying? At a crossroad when that happened. Maybe I'm moving too slow. For Jehovah. So he put a little fire up on me with my brother's death. However, anybody want to look at it. At the end of the day, I just feel that you dying for money is senseless. You know what I'm saying? And the things that I did that I could have died for money, is senseless as well, man. And I'm glad that I did, to bring y'all these stories right now, man. And a while back I did a couple of shirts, man, with Lugatti, face on it, and his baby, man. I think he had just had a child, man. So thinking about that situation right there, Lugatti child wasn't even 1 year old when he passed away, man. That child would never know anything about their father, because he didn't live life. He died like my brother, Tremaine. My brother died at 24. I think Lugatti was even younger than that. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't really get a chance to live their life like that, for you to have so many stories to tell their child or their grandchild or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So, you just have to watch what you do. And the people that are around you, you have to watch what they do, because at the end of the day, what they do could change your life.
You might see me, don't be surprised, don't stop, but on my side, hey,